Kev, how's it going, mate? You good?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Next month, it's 20 years to the day on the 20th since your first ever goal for the club against Bristol City. What do you remember about that goal?
It took a while in coming. I remember that much. As in, I've played a few appearances and hadn't quite come off, and then it was a night game under the lights. I think it was a corner. I was on the edge of the box early on in the game, maybe inside the first 10 minutes, I think. And then obviously it got half cleared to me. I took an okay touch and then managed to get my laces on it, and it took a ever so slight deflection to help it into the top near corner. So I was delighted.
Did you always know you were going to hit it? Because when I watched it back, you hear someone in the crowd shout, "Shoot!"
Nah, I was always hitting it because obviously after the touch wasn't perfect, so I was getting after it, and then I thought I'm just having a go here and hope for the best. And lucky enough, it fell in for me.
And you didn't have a celebration plan, did you?
No, I was running. The stand was half empty, as you can see if you ever watch it back, and I was just running down the line there. I didn't really know what to do because I was so surprised with myself, and it was like the first time, so it's an amazing feeling.
Have you got a favourite?
As we spoke about, probably my best, technically, was probably the Wrexham at home, where I'd come on as a sub under Martin. I was trying to get my way into that team, and he was playing me a couple of different positions, and I come on at 0-0, and then, I was just backing up a cross that come in and just got cleared and took it on the volley on the move, and it flew perfectly into the top corner.
One of your more important ones, though, was probably that Swindon penalty. In the year we went to, I know obviously we lost in the final, but I want to get onto penalty taking and free kicks. How often would you practice penalties?
Under Martin, it become available. So before then, I didn't really think of it. And so I started practicing, and he saw I was practicing and other players, and I was quite good at it. So he one day said to me, "Right, you're going to take the penalties." So I would practice both sides, down the middle, and I'd just try and learn to do the same technique every time. So then the keeper wouldn't be able to read which way I was going. So I would practice definitely the day before a game, and sometimes during the week if we had time as well. I'd practice probably 10 to 15, but I didn't want to do too many and then start second guessing myself as well. So it's a fine balance.
So it's all for you. It was in giving the keeper no sign of where you're going to put it. So a bit kind of like what Ivan does now with his run-up.
I suppose I call Ivan's a walk-up, but I would take the same steps back on the same angle, and then I would try and put it in different places, because especially nowadays, even more so than when I was playing, that there's so much analysis that they can see exactly where you prefer to put the ball and stuff. So I'd try and vary it as much as I could, but obviously I did have a favourite side.
And with regards to going back to that Swindon one, I was behind that goal nervous as hell, because it was like a big moment, because we're going into that second leg. And were you nervous?
To be totally honest with you, every time I took a penalty, I was nervous. I wouldn't say I enjoyed taking them, but I knew I was okay at them, and I knew they were important to score. The Swindon one, I was not nervous. The only time I was not nervous taking a penalty. I was angry. I was angry at what had happened the week before, just all of it. No, not one particular bit, just all of it. The way it happened and the way it didn't happen for me. And I just had that anger in me, and I just knew that I had to score, and I knew I'd score. Mate. And it's probably one of my best penalties I took. I hit it so cleanly and just straight into the side netting, and it was a small release from that whole week, because there's so much crap, if I can say that, happened after that, rightly and wrongly, and people say stuff and people think they know stuff and bits and pieces, but I was angry, and I was thinking to myself as I was taking it, this should be last week.
Really? So obviously, for context, for some people that might not, that was obviously the week before the Doncaster game. We've discussed a few goals there. You've played in so many different positions for the club. You've played up front, wing, centre mid, right back. Where did you enjoy playing?
Good question. I think I played my best football probably from right back and maybe right midfield, but I enjoyed myself the most in central midfield, because you're always involved in everything. And especially in those times, more under Andy Scott, I think it was, when obviously the team, when we got promotion, and then the next season in League One where we finished comfortably mid-table, and those I think I probably enjoyed that the most. But right back, I thought I was solid. Right midfield for the first couple of years, I thought was really good, and then obviously Martin put me right back. But I enjoyed the challenge of different positions as well. I enjoyed the manager saying to me, "Look, can you play left back for me this game?" the odd time. That didn't happen often, left back. And then centre half as well. Obviously, I was getting slower, so I have to try and read the game and anticipate a bit better and things like that. But I'd love the challenge of being able to play in different positions as well.
When Martin first said to you, you're going to play at right back, were you like, I'm a centre mid, like I want to play centre field?
Do you know what? I think it was a home game to Wickham, and I think Dobbo had got injured or something had happened, might have been suspended, one or the other. And then he said to me, look, you're going to play right back. And I didn't think much of it. I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. And I played okay. And then he said to me before the next game away at Walsall, it was the next week, he was clever. He pulled me in and he said, it's easy to play right back at home. He said, can you do it away? So he gave me a little challenge before that game. And then that game, I think we won 1-0. I think John Solarco scored a penalty and I played well and the team played well. And then from there, it just carried on. But yeah, I loved it. I loved learning the position.
It's strange now because probably the number that a lot of people associate you with is the number 2.
Yeah.
But you were a number 9. So back then when you were a number 9, did you have any thought that I might end up finishing my career for this club one day as a right back?
No, it was weird because obviously the youth team, I was a striker. I'd done well. I scored goals. I was a good striker. Then when I went to step up into the first team, I'd do well in training, and then in the games, it was probably a little bit too much. The step up was difficult. I felt that and I admitted that, and then so I was pleased to try and find a different position to adjust my game because I knew I had certain qualities. I was limited in some areas, but I had certain qualities. So it was about finding those positions, and I was just pleased that, like, obviously Ray Lou put me right midfield, and then Wally Downs gave me loads of confidence when he started playing me every week. That was the start of it, really. And then obviously Martin then converted me to right back, and like I said, I could go on and on about the positions, but it was. I loved playing. I just wanted to play. So I wasn't to myself, I have to play as a striker. That wasn't to be. I kind of knew that fairly early on, so I had to adjust.
And you spoke about all those managers there and all the positions you've played, but you're now part of the coaching team and you've been manager in the B team level and stuff. At what point in your career did you think that's where you wanted to go when you finished?
Probably, I'd say mid to late 20s. I started thinking about it a little bit, and then I realised how long it takes to get your badges. So I thought I'd better start doing this relatively soon. And yeah, because obviously you want to play forever, and you can't. So it's the next best thing. So that's why I then sort of got involved in the coaching badges and gradually took my steps. And the club, to be fair, have been brilliant. Managers have been brilliant with me. Mark Warburton, especially when I finished playing, and that transitional period where you still kind of think you can play, but you kind of know the standard's just too high for you. More than likely the odd game you'd be okay, but then if I went and played 10, 15 games, I'd probably be found out at that time. So I felt him and Dave Weir dealt with me brilliantly that transitional season, and I learned so much from them, just shadowing them in training and obviously taking the odd bit myself, but just learning off them guys, and then of other people since then. It's been amazing. I've been very lucky with the path I've had.
Do you miss playing a bit?
Yes, totally. I sometimes the odd time have to join in the 11-11 like the day before a game to be on the opposing team, and I absolutely love it. It's as if like that's my cup final still. Even though I'm not as quick as the guys, I just, I still love it, and in your head you still think you're okay.
Talking about this season, we've just had the halfway stage with the win against Luton, although we haven't played everyone yet, obviously with Bristol City yet. What's been the assessment of the season so far from you guys?
I think we're happy where we are. I think we've had some very good consistent performances, especially more recently. Early on in the season, we were a tiny bit slow to get going. But again, change of players, and it's always going to be the case when that happens, when there's a turnover of players. But the run we're on and the consistency, and like you said to me there, Thomas's words from last night, how hard we worked, and to get that win last night was big to carry on that run, and like I say, we've had that small break, and just to get the players back up to full speed again, in that match intensity. And yeah, last night was a very good performance in that respect. Obviously not perfect second half, but like I say, in a lot of other aspects, very good, and we managed to keep the win.
And going into what they call like the business end of the season is the cliche. I know what you're going to say because I ask everyone involved.
Yeah.
Is it a case of each game as it comes now? And why?
Yeah, it has to be. Because no one game is bigger than another. Okay, you can say the 6 pointers, but then if you beat a team in that situation and then go and lose next week and they win, is that as you were. So you just focus on the next game, keep doing what we're doing, keep doing what we're doing in training, keeping it enjoyable and fun, and the players engaged, and just yeah, just keep them going, because it's a strange season, so many games, and consistency is going to be the key, I think.
Well, it's an exciting back end to the season. Kev, I really appreciate your time, mate. Cheers.
Pleasure. Thanks, Stu.